Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be playing with a new hot foil plate and doing some ink blending along with it. There are so many awesome new hot foil plates in the autumn release, like this one, the beautiful Harvest foiling set. It has a plate and a die. I thought you'd like to see some of the other like autumn themed things. This is the vintage tin tile plate, and then we have the Seasons Bountiful die set and plate. It works together so you can cut that piece out and the inside. And one of my favorites, the Autumn Cluster cut and foil. So yes, it has a plate and a die. And then we have the Aster Blooms, which is like can do an entire card front top to bottom, and you can cut out the sides. Really super cool and detailed plate. And then we have an addition to a line that already exists. This is the Shimmering Winds. We also have that in a die that does like little perforated lines. There's a stencil, and all these coordinate with a stamp set. Oh my word, it's so cool to have all these coordinating things. And the wind part can also go with a stamp set that has snowflakes in it. So I love this like whole line. Okay, for my hot foiling today, I'm using Hammer Mill Color Copy Cover Stock. It's 100 pounds, it's very smooth, and it hot foils beautifully. So I thought you'd like to know that because people often ask what paper I use for hot foiling. So I'm using some speckled Aura foil here, and it was a little long, so I just tore the end, but the quick trimmer works really good for cutting you the piece or the size that you need. And now I'm going to hot foil this. Oh my gosh, it's such a pretty image. Maybe that's where it got its name. So I am taping this down to my hot foil, which is pretty side up onto my cardstock, and the plate is face down onto that foil. When my glimmer system is preheated, I will put that face down onto my system there, press the timer, add the cover plates, and then once the timer goes off, which is usually about a minute, I can remove that entire dock and run it through my die machine. So the heat and the pressure is what's transferring that image onto the paper, and the speckles in this foil make it look so shimmery and so beautiful. Now, because this is super hot, I like to be able to use that tape to peel back my die or my plate. It's a plate, but you can see the little speckles in there. Also, I had some over foiling. So I am taking my Mono Tombow sanding eraser and sanding that right off the paper. And you're not going to see it on my card because I'm die cutting this out, but I thought you'd like to know that little tip if you didn't already know it. All right, I'm using one of the new blending brushes from Trinity Stamps to add some yellow ink right over the top of my hot foiling because it resists the ink, and it made such a quick job of it. The brush is like domed, and it's super soft. But I don't have a dedicated brush for orange yet. I have ordered it. It's on the way because you can see the comparison of using this smaller style blending brush that isn't like ergonomic. It just has a straight long handle, and it took me so much longer to get the coverage that I wanted. So that's just one little side-by-side comparison of that new brush with the old style that I've previously used. So now that that's ink blended, it's looking so gorgeous. You can see the really dark orange, and then where it blended with the yellow and the yellow at the top, it just has like a really nice harvest sunset feel. I'm going to tape my die to a piece of craft cardstock and trace around it because I wanted a layer for this beautiful little spray to sit on. So I'm going to be really crazy and fussy cut this out. But when I fussy cut, I like to kind of cut away the bulk of the paper and just get it out of my way. And then when I do cut, I'm going to use my left hand there that doesn't have the scissors and turn my paper as I go, and that really works well for me. Also, I am trying to cut on the outside of the line just to make this a tiny bit bigger. Next, the important thing to remember is to erase the pencil lines, and now let's see how it looks on top of my fussy cut layer. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay, then I'll go ahead and glue this into place with my new Crafty Glue Friend glue from Trinity Stamps. It works really well. I'm quite pleased with this new glue. I've been using it quite a bit lately. So now I'm going to put this on a background. Now you'll see there's like a rainbow die cut out of the center of this. When I die cut from pattern paper, I tend to cut things out of the middle because I can always cover it up with something later and I don't feel like I've wasted it. So this is a Slimline paper pad and that's what I did. Cut out of the middle and covered it up, and you'll never know that it was there. Well, you will, but the person getting the card won't unless it's you, right? Okay, I took the new Grateful die set and I am going to do 3 layers for my white background and then just 1 layer for the word itself, and you can see how like detailed the shadow layer is and how tiny the letters are on the Grateful, and it's so gorgeous. And the new glue worked really well for putting the tiny dots of glue on that really detailed die cut. And then I'm going to glue this down right to the card right below there, and the white just really pops off of this card. I think it's gorgeous. Now we need to embellish. So I have some champagne baubles here, and they're kind of like the color of the craft cardstock that I use, but with some shimmer. So I thought they'd be really a good like accent to this card because they were kind of subtle, but then pulls out that craft color a little bit. So there they are. Aren't they pretty? Oh my goodness, I am loving making fall and Halloween cards right now. There's also a few new hot foil plates for Halloween in the shop, so be sure to head over to the Trinity Stamp shop and check those things out. I'll have everything I used linked for you below. I'll see you all again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!